continue to fight for all the guys that I dealt with and that I was blessed to be with at FPC Pensacola. I will continue to expose the injustices that go on there and throughout the department and throughout the Bureau of Prisons. I know that Julie, who is a wonderful, decent, God-fearing woman and that I am blessed to have been married to and been with for over 30 years now, an excellent mother. She's at home with Chloe right now, and Chloe will not let her go. So we're blessed to have our family back, and we're blessed to be coming back to television because we do have a much bigger story to tell now than we ever have. So I thank each and every one of you.
Wrap it open this up for some questions. We'll start here.
Todd and Savannah, what was the reunion like first night, right? Todd, Julie, and family. And the second part of that is, Todd, the fans have been really talking about your physical transformation.
Yeah, I call it the BOP glow.
And so what was the motivation behind that, and how are you going to continue that sort of fitness routine moving forward?
Well, I'll actually have more access to better products now that I'm out. I think that I had nothing to do other than to read and to work out. And so I worked out every morning at 10:45 until 12 with my buddies there. And I read.
He had no business in
my
prison.
walk with
None.
Christ became deeper. And I talked to my daughter every day, to Chase, to Grayson. And I was able to email with Julie every day. And so I think that for me, I haven't had the same effects that so many people leaving the prison system have had. So I'm grateful for that. Or maybe it's just all the residual Botox that never wore off.
What was the reunion like the first night?
Yes, I think for me, obviously I went to pick up my dad. And when he walked out, it was just such an overwhelming feeling because the last time I was there, I was dropping him off and watching him walk away. So I think watching him walk towards me, I was an absolute disaster. And we left there and it was amazing. And I FaceTimed my friend Margot, who works within the administration. And she goes, hold on a second. She was like, I'm here with the president. And we got to FaceTime the president. And it was a full circle moment.
I think that it was, as Savannah said, she and Nick dropped me off there. And then you picked me up. It was, I don't even know that I felt like that it was real at that moment. And I woke up the first morning and I was looking around. I'm like, this is really real. I'm home. So I was grateful for our family to be all back in the same room, to be together, to share a meal together, to pray together, and to know that we're still in the fight together.
Question second row.
Mr. Chrisley, do you have any remorse for the actions that led to your evictions?
Oh, you must be CNN. Do I have any remorse? I would have remorse if it was something that I did.
Well, your wife did apologize last year.
Well, let me explain to you how that works, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You're placed in a position as a defendant to either bow down and kiss the ass of the Department of Justice and accept responsibility for things that you did not do in order to avoid a stronger sentence. And the corruption that went on in our case is going to continue to unfold, and Alex is going to continue to give each and every one of you the evidence that as it comes in. Next question.
You haven't seen his wife in so long. Hearing her voice, seeing her, what was that like?
It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. Julie and I have been together for over 30 years, and she is my best friend. We have raised our children together. The grandchild that is now my legal daughter, and we've had all the ups and downs. We've gone through breast cancer together. We've gone through multiple medical procedures with her, and it was great to be home. No matter where that is, as long as she's there, it's home.
Question up here.
Hey guys, welcome home, Todd.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. I know this has been a big journey for you, Savannah. What is one thing that happened behind the scenes that maybe you want the public to know?
You want to go first?
I think, obviously the biggest misconception right now is that I either paid for a pardon or slept for a pardon.
That's something I would
like, that's the biggest misconception right now. And if people knew the countless hours and the money and the time that I spent going to DC, literally with not a meeting scheduled. And I just got on a plane and went and said, I'm going to be in the right room at the right time and meet the right people. I fought hard and I was exhausted and I begged for meetings. There was nothing I was never too good to ask. And that's the thing is people think, oh, you're a celebrity, you're white, you have money, that we got an upper hand and we didn't. I had to fight and I was relentless and that's how it happened. Finally, people listened. So for me, that would be something that people just don't quite understand.
I think, I think for me, watching it all unfold and listening to what she said that was coming up next and just being consumed with pride while at the same time knowing that this is a long shot because so many people are told no. And being in the prison system, anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African-American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. They were denied programming. They were denied access to certain things. I was not denied that, but we know why I wasn't denied that. And so I think that that is a much bigger picture that we all as a society as a whole need to look at, that we are one. And whether you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, at the end of the day, when you're in that hospital, you don't care if it's a Democrat treating you or a Republican. Now, some of you may, but I want whoever's going to be the best person to do that. You.
You're another.
Thank you. So there's no telling how many times Savannah's Instagram was refreshed yesterday with everyone looking for that glimpse of getting to see Todd. And then the first time we see you live on Instagram is in Nordstrom shopping. Can you talk about that? And then were you hesitant at all for that to be the first glimpse of your shopping?
Well, we thought through our security detail that we had beaten that and that we were good to go. And what we did not realize is that there was multiple outlets that were following us, but we had interference with the security team. And I don't know why it's that exciting to go watch me buy underwear. I mean, it's just not. But we went in to grab a few things because of I have an event to go to tomorrow. And then we look up and this people in Nordstrom's coming and said, you need to understand that the press is here. The press is here. And so I'm like, they're just wanting this one first picture. And so I said, go live with it. I says, and that stops them. And so that's what we did.
It did.
You
Hey.
go down to the front and to the back.
What do you have to say to the people who say you will only part it because of your status?
I understand it. I understand it. That's not something that you can look at and say, well, that had nothing to do with it. I don't know if it did or if it didn't, because I wasn't involved in the process. But what I can tell you is that I believe in our president of the United States, and I believe in his commitment. When he created the First Step Act, that was to help incarcerated individuals. It was not adhered to by the Department of Justice. And the entire time during the Biden administration, it was not adhered to. So to hear him say that it is now going to be adhered to and Pam Bondi is going to make sure of that, literally since Pam Bondi has stepped in, now the Bureau of Prisons have been given a directive through a new director who I have such a huge amount of faith in, William Marshall, that he is going to make sure that the First Step Act is implemented. And these men and women are going to get the credit that they're supposed to be getting. They're going to get the training and the education that they're promised. And they're going to be given a right to go back to their families in a speedier way. So I do understand that. And if that's the case, I don't know how to address the fact that if it is the case, but I'm grateful to God for whatever reason it was that we were able to obtain it.
Or in first.
Hi, we know you've called the Nashville area home for a few years, having a home in Hrisley. What's your plans for potentially keeping life here in Nashville?
We do have future plans. Nashville will always hold a very special place in our heart. But we have other plans.
Are you planning to stay here?
We will probably always have a presence here. I don't know that we'll be here full time.
Back up, please.
No, you.
So after people have been incarcerated, a lot of times they say that isolation and that feeling almost of not being able to associate with family and friends is almost for them feeling like part of the death. And then having them come back is almost like a second chance. Now that you have all this new understanding, experiences, really having that conversation with people in very different ways of life. how do you plan to use your platform and to share different messages as you do now that you're continuing to have this TV show?
This will always hold this. You can't go through what we've been through and walk away from it. I'm fortunate, so is Julie, that we never lost contact with our children. Julie and I emailed 10 times a day. And I think it's also important to understand that I was at a camp. It was the brokest child camp that you can go to. The accommodations were not great, but it, needless to say, was a camp. It was a former military base. So we had free access to walk, and we had a track and a weight pile, and we had things that we could do. But there are men there that after, I think statistically, after the first 2 years, people lose contact with their loved ones. And that I can't even imagine how that must feel. But at the same time, I think that we at this point, God has said, when you know better, you do better. And it's our job at this point to expose all of that and to try to make those men and women's lives better if we can. And that's what I plan to do.
So let's take a step back and take a look forward. First of all, what were both of your first reactions to the part where you were shocked? Looking forward, tell us, your return to television, this docuseries, can you tease what it will be like in nature, what the focus will be? Tell us about that.
I mean, when I got the call, like I said, I was walking into the grocery store and I stopped in the parking lot. I was like, what do I do? I was like, okay, go back to my car. And so I sat in my car and had that phone conversation that's online with President Trump. And I was in such shock. I really didn't know what to say. I started crying. Grayson was with me and we're like, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. And I really don't even remember driving home. Like, I was in such shock. And I then was able to talk to my parents and tell them what had happened, but it had already kind of spread like wildfire because President Trump's team posted the video and tagged it Trump Knows Best, which, I loved. But it spread like wildfire. And when they called, they're like, is this really real? Oh my, like, it was so hard to believe that it was actually happening.
I had a staff member that came to me and said, you've just been pardoned. And I just looked at him and he says, no, really, you've been pardoned. It's in the news. And so I walked up to call her and she said, it's true. It's true. So I remember walking back from the phone and just feeling numb, not really knowing. And then after about 10 minutes, all I could think about was the guys that I was leaving behind because I had made such wonderful relationships with those men. And when I left that day, there was only 317 men at our camp, but they were lined up shouting when I was walking out. And they were saying, don't leave it, don't forget us, don't forget us. And my commitment is to them that I will never forget them.
Yeah. So we had been filming and we had just wrapped filming for all intents and purposes. And then we get the call that they had been pardoned. So we picked right back up and we're excited because I think this new show is going to give, first off, it's going to give people a look into the trial and things that we went through. And we're going to set the record straight, put some documents out there. Alex is on there. But it comes full circle because we go back and then we get to the point where mom and dad are pardoned and now we move forward with our lives. And I know for me personally, now I get to be a normal 27-year-old, almost 28. And so my goal, it's like we were talking last night, it's like I'm traveling to 30 countries by the time I turn 30. But going to DC is going to be, I will be there a lot more because now I hope to work with the Federal Bureau of Prisons and Billy Marshall and help them expose the corruption because he has vowed to hold people accountable if there has been abuse and corruption to occur. So I am extremely excited for that, to work with some organizations, put bills in front of Congress, especially for women who are incarcerated. So that's kind of our goal. And then obviously that they've already got all the offers rolling in. So it's going to make life so much easier. You'll see him on quite a few different shows, I have a feeling. So one more question, and then I think we're.
Can Todd confirm that you will be a part now of the second portion of the series?
We are.
Yeah.
We started filming literally the night that we got home.
As soon as we got home. So I think with this new series, you will see the first time he and mom see each other for the first time.
Last question.
Let her have this question.
So I understand you're saying you were wrongfully convicted and that information will come out. And my question is, So, it was under the first Trump administration, the investigation happened and the charges, so how can it be political?
Well, if you will look at the individuals that prosecuted this case and that lied to the courts, and these prosecutors are no longer with the U.S. Attorney's Office. Tommy Krepp left and is now at the FDIC. Annalise Peters, she is now with Meta. You don't go to Meta and give up a career as a prosecutor. That's not what you do. You don't go to the graveyard of the FDIC when you're trying to build a career as a defense attorney. So
I also think it's very important to note that it took 7 years to issue a formal indictment.
exactly.
So the investigation was going on for almost a decade. And when you look at it, our judge was the youngest African-American female appointed by Obama. So she allowed so many things to come into trial with the Fourth Amendment violations, and magistrate judge ruled that all the evidence must be thrown out because it was obtained illegally. So we don't know if stuff was planted. Mark Braddock was involved. He got full immunity from the government. So the whole trial was just messy and tainted. And when the magistrate judge ruled the evidence was not allowed in, the Obama appointed judge said, nope, I don't care. We're allowing it all in.
And with an email that said, we need to catch a big fish. And the response was, well, Todd Chrisley is the biggest fish in Atlanta right now.
And I think it's also important to note that the Office of Inspector General ruled in our favor in their documents, that in their investigation, that stated, we agree that the Chrisleys were unfairly targeted. We substantiate
Due to their celebrity status.
Yes, we substantiate the Chrisley's claims that they were unfairly targeted. So at the end of the day, I will sit and say, as his daughter, I believe in law and order. If I believe that my parents did exactly what they were accused of doing, then yes, you
have a consequence.
You have a consequence for it. Do I think the consequence should have been 12 years? No, I do not. That's not even a fair sentence if it was true. But I know in my heart of hearts, it was not true. I caught these prosecutors in so much misconduct, speaking to the judge, having ex parte communications. And
this is in writing.
It is in writing. Alex exposed the emails. So I think at the end of the day, if you want a conviction, then have a clean conviction.
And to go back to your question about it being a Trump administration, it was a Biden administration that the OIG issued the report under that said that we were targeted.
Mhm.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys.
That's it.
Thank you all very much.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank
Thank you. Y'all have
you.
a wonderful day. God bless.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Welcome. Hey, happy Friday. I'm at I-78.
Thank y'all for
In
coming.
the
If you guys
house.
need anything, I can give you a card or my email.
All right. Appreciate y'all for coming to hang out for a little while. So we have just seen the first comments from Todd Chrisley, freshly out the pokey. Freshly out the pokey. He and his wife Julie were recently pardoned by the president and released from prison. Well, I mean, technically it's prison, but like they were at like a mix between hardcore prison and country club prison. So it wasn't in country club and it wasn't in the Shawshank. He was kind of in a middle ground. But they have been pardoned by the president and released. So we are glad for that. Because I mean, honestly, let's be for real. What benefit to society was having them in prison? Why should we as the taxpayers pay for them to be in prison? Like what is that doing for society? Absolutely nothing, in my opinion. Exactly, 18. He does look refreshed. Would you say? I know he had a fabulous time in prison while it lasted. Listen. Yeah, he does. So, I mean, just to be for real, because allegedly, well, not allegedly, but Todd and his wife Julie were convicted of conspiring to defraud community banks out of $30 million in fraudulent loans and hiding their assets from the IRS. We never really got concrete evidence and explanation on how exactly they did that. Just that they were convicted and sentenced. I think Ty got 12 years. I mean, again, in the grand scheme of things, what's that doing for the community? So, I mean, I am all for not having dangerous criminals locked up. When it really ain't no point, it ain't no point. I mean, and then plus, honestly, that's cheating us, out of quality, well, I don't know about quality, but enjoyable television. Because for those of y'all who know, the Chrisleys had a wildly successful reality show on television, and according to Todd, they're going to be getting back to that. However, with his recent release, he is going to be working on prison reform and working against people having wrongful convictions, and for those who have been convicted to make sure that they have all of the rights that they are still entitled to while they are incarcerated. He got more than the prosecution had requested, so the judge definitely had a motive of ill intentions. Exactly. So I mean, I'm all for the president pardoning people. So listen, it's not like he letting Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and all of them out. But all that crime that ain't really crime, that is not causing any issues, especially for people where the breaking of the law was not clearly proven. Let me put it like that. Exactly. Trump standing on business, Eric. Exactly. He is standing on business. So listen, I'm for it. I'm glad Todd and Julie out, and I'm ready. Cause what'd you say 18 earlier about his mama? Child, his mama hopeful. Is she sick? I think she was sick. Something she had going on. So he need to be out to take care of his mama. Ain't nobody got time for all that. And so they can be with Chloe, the granddaughter. It's bad enough, her parents can't put them narcotics down. But then you gonna take a grandparent, the only stable people she got in her life from her. That's that BS. You're not in the mood. That's that BS. What you say? Shout out to Tim Scott. Okay. Yeah, he's helping the folks with sickle cell. My heart goes out to them. I don't, have anybody in my family that has sickle cell, but I know a couple people who have. Conspiracy is a crime to receive a part, and you must admit your crime. Okay, just because you said you did something, don't mean you really did it. Just like you can say you didn't do it, and that ain't true either. So why are we hung up on that? And apparently, even him saying that he did it was worth being out, where you can get to go to Nordstrom's and buy some underwear as soon as you get released. So I mean, hell, Ty winning. Let's stop playing and stop hating. Ty winning. Because hell, I'm free and got a whole career going, and going to Nordstrom's to buy some underwear might not be in my best interest. So what we saying? Ty winning. Okay, bill for incarceration reform. Okay, cool. Yeah, so child, we not wasting time on penny ante crime, if y'all even want to call it crime. We worried about serious stuff. So yeah. That's what we were. So kudos to the president for letting Todd and Julie out. Kudos. And child, who else? Because he done had a good little string of pardons. Let me see who else he done had recently. Then he hold on. There was some. Yeah, Larry Hoover. Yes. Go ahead, let Larry out. Who else? It was somebody else. Y'all playing. We ain't doing that. It was Larry Hoover and it was another rapper. Let's see, Chrisley, Brown, Jenkins. No. So y'all help me out. Who was it? Now he ain't got the Diddy yet. Diddy might not need a pardon. The way that trial going on, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for the RICO part. All I'm hearing about is deviant, you know what I'm saying, relations. Last time I checked. So you're for thieves now. I'm for thieves returning what you took, but you going to prison and you still riding off with the money, don't do nothing for me. So my thing is, if you want to hold a thief accountable, then make them return what they took. That's all I'm saying. That's where I'm coming from. Child, that's gonna bother me. Who the hell was it? It was. Yeah, no, I'm all for that. So yeah, if you, NBA YoungBoy. What the hell did he do? Let's see. Yeah, go ahead and let Larry Hoover out. Shit. What did NBA YoungBoy do? Okay, hold on. Okay, Ralston pleaded guilty to 1 count linked to his 2020 gun possession arrest in Arizona and a separate count tied to a gun charge in Utah. Hey, Sharice, how are you? Welcome. Appreciate you. Okay, Brian, since you want to have this conversation again, okay, so if Todd was accused of defrauding community banks out of $30 million, if they gave him $30 million, then he should have to give him $35 million back. So if you wasn't asking for your money back, you still out of $30 million. So what's him being in the damn pokey gonna do for your $30 million? That's all I'm trying to figure out. What does him sitting in jail do for this $30 million that you gave him? How's that equal? The punishment is supposed to fit the crime, right? I mean, if I'm missing something, please explain it to me. But I don't understand how you ask for money, you provide, you know what I'm saying, documentation. They give it to you. Some kind of way they figure out the documentation that you provided them is not adequate. You don't have to get on the money back, but you just go, you know what I'm saying, get restricted for 12 years. You still got $30 million. What's going on, Cellulite? Will, what do you think? You think Todd and Julie Chrisley need to still be in prison? You think it's okay that they got pardoned? I'm just trying to understand. And over here I'm still with NBA YoungBoy. Okay, so he got 23 months with credit for time served. Okay, so say like this is what happened. Supposedly, they defrauded banks for $30 million and were hiding assets from the IRS. So which one is the better punishment? You were given loans for $30 million and you have to repay $35 to $40 million, or you keep the $30 million that they say you know what I'm saying, you got, you know what I'm saying, fraudulently, and you do 12 years. Which one is a more adequate punishment for the crime? Hold the hell up. We'll get the young boy in a minute. That if you commit the crime, do the time. Okay, so you'll do the 12 years and keep the $30 million, right? So but if you utilize loopholes and get away with it, then this is what I'm talking about. So this is the thing, though. In the trial, they never really pinpointed what he's talking about. Hell, I like my freedom. Okay, they never really pinpointed what made these loans fraudulent. They got like what information that they gave the bank was fraudulent. So let me ask you this, Sega, like as the bank, which one would you want? Would you want your money back, or would you want the person to do 12 years? And I keep in mind, wait a minute, if what they accused them and didn't prove, then they should be free. This is what I'm talking about. So this is the thing they'll say, like, so the typical sentence for what they were accused of was like 5 to 7, and the judge gave him 12. If you the bank run me my money, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying, Sal. So for the bank, him doing 12 years don't do shit for them. They still out of $30 million. So again, I'm with Trump. What the hell is the point? If you ain't asking for your money back, what the hell him doing 12 gonna do for you? When the most he should have been doing was 7, if you know what I'm saying, in the first place. That's all I'm saying. And say, like, what does him and his wife being in prison do for us? Me and you out here, as you're saying, working, you know what I'm saying, productive American citizens. What does them being in prison do for us? If they don't want the money back, then it's not about the money. If that's the case, then they should be free. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. So that's why the president was like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and exactly, they never get right. Because nobody asked them for the money back, Stephen. That's what we saying. So if you don't want the money back, then hell. What me sitting in there doing 12 gonna do? Nothing. Because I'm gonna still have the money when I get out. See how this works? If I'm exactly, Eric, absolutely nothing. So I'm just sitting here wasting time. Because again, like he said, he wasted space and tax dollars taking care of them. Once they get out after 12 years, our tax dollars, they still got the money there. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm exactly, Sal. Exactly. So they ain't no point to that. That's costing us money. We paying to keep them rich. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and let them out. We ain't got no time for that. We can go ahead and let them out. There's absolutely no point to that, and let them people go ahead and be about their business. That's all. Exactly. It makes absolutely no sense. So I'm good with it. I'm good with it. It don't bother me. Like I said, now you know what I'm saying, we can get some more episodes and see what's going on. Doesn't matter, need to be held accountable for what they did. Okay, this is what allegedly did. I'm still saying allegedly because again, you know what I'm saying, I took a peek at some them transcripts. And again, just like with, you know what I'm saying, Donald Trump's trial, there was never a clear-cut path from this is what we accusing you of, and we can prove you did it because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It was never a clear path. And this is the same type of situation. Exactly. Nobody said they had to pay anything back, Brian. That's the whole point. So again, if you are being accused of thievery, and this is for anybody, wouldn't the appropriate punishment be give back what you stole? Wouldn't that be an appropriate punishment? How does keep what you stole from me and go sit in the box make sense? Because I'm still out of what you stole from me. That's all I'm saying. So for me, if you know what I'm saying, you got clear-cut evidence and you can, you know what I'm saying, put together the story and the trail of what happened, and they got $30 million by running this scam, so to speak, then your punishment should be you got to get back 40. 35 or 40. You want to give me more than what you took. That's the more appropriate punishment in my book. That's just me. Hold on. So hold up. Damn, young boy got them charges, y'all. Now see this right here with the NBA young boy. Dang, child. Now, I mean, now, he was doing some stuff. That's different. And you out here, you got these weapons and things with no paperwork, and then you know what I'm saying, you on house arrest, and then you running a prescription drug ring out the house, then that's something different. Okay, well, that's on you, Steve. I'm waiting for them episodes because I'm gonna keep watching. Like, this is just not this ain't life altering. I'm sorry. I know y'all want to try to, make it, y'all, this is the worst thing we ever heard, but child, it's real crime going on. It is real crime going on. And y'all mad about the Chrisleys. I don't understand. But you know what I'm saying, to each his own. I just feel like, there was a more appropriate course of action, and them being out don't bother me. They're not a threat to my way of life. I'm cool. Not a threat, not a threat, not a threat. So I'm good with it. Why y'all got me all up in this? So let me get this right. They committed a crime that no one can prove, but it's only right they spend time in jail, even though they haven't been proven. Yeah. Yeah. And then you're gonna love this part, Sal. Absolutely. How about the judge who gave him 12 years when the max on that is like 7 was a black woman? But yeah, they just in the whole hiding of assets. So if you hadn't, so guilty till proven innocent. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. 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 Hello, Tehran. How are you? This is what I'm saying. So again, I'm not a fan. But I mean, they're out. I'm not mad at the president. The jury found them guilty without evidence of the crime. I don't know if they had a jury trial. Let me look. But I mean, it happens. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so he got 12, she got 7. And yeah. So, okay. But yeah, so we in it. We in Atlanta. And folks is already, if you're good with Trump, then you're good with anything. Okay, so Sal, I guess we good with anything. So just because the bank said they did it and can't prove it, a jury said it's true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so you got to look at it. So you got, you know what I'm saying, Todd Chrisley been all over the, you know what I'm saying, all over the TV, you know what I'm saying. How many seasons was that show on? It was on for 10 seasons. So you got this man, you know what I'm saying, a entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, in the public eye, You know what I'm saying? Being transparent, because I'm just saying, like, most people in his position would have never been on TV talking to, you know what I'm saying, and mentioning their dope addict son, let alone raising their, you know what I'm saying, mixed race, dope fiend son's daughter and taking care of her mama while the mama was clean. Like, let's be for real. That they would have had that pushed so far back in the closet. Hell, he'd have forgot he had a damn son. But no, what did Chrisley and them do? No, you know what I'm saying? You really trying to get yourself together. We'll do all we can to help you. You know what I'm saying? The son, you know, he was out for a hot minute, but he just couldn't leave it alone. So he was like, you know, I gotta let you do what you do. The baby mama, she lasted longer than he did. He, you know what I'm saying? He helped her. And then when she fell back to, you know what I'm saying, back into the streets, they took that baby. Still got that baby. What the hell y'all talking about? Most folks don't do that. Let alone putting it on TV. So you down there in Georgia with all of this going on, and you know what I'm saying, ain't giving people a blueprint on how you got your money. Of course, the people was like, you know what I'm saying, this is the opportunity to stick it to them. Like, let's be for real. That part right there, Sal. That part right there. But I'm just saying. So yeah, this was their opportunity. You know what I'm saying? To stick it to Chrisley. So I mean, what we talking about? And then, you know, Negroes wasn't gonna stand up and say nothing because they was like, you know what I'm saying, I'm broken, he not. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't trying to put me on, in the hell with him. You know that's how we do. So I'm just saying, like, what danger does them being free pose to us? None. That's all I can say about that. It poses no danger. Segregation, participation. This is what I'm talking about. Sal. But you know, just because you ain't, you know what I'm saying, with the, you know what I'm saying, ooh, you doing something I can't do, or you got something I don't have. You know what I'm saying? It's time for you to, you know what I'm saying, get what I feel you deserve. Train. Something got to be wrong. Child, quit playing. And then hell, y'all had like he, you know what I'm saying, was in there scrubbing floors and making license plates. He came on and said that wasn't going on. So what we saying? The hell's really the point? He was on a damn converted military base. Damn, emailing his wife 10 times a day. So again, what we talking about? All that suffering y'all wanted him to have, he still wasn't getting it. So what we talking about? Hell, get pardoned and get out of jail while you en route to Nordstrom's to get you some fresh draws. You want to FaceTime with the president. That is not suffering. So what y'all talking? There was no suffering. Oh, child, they don't want to talk about that laptop sale. They don't want to get into that laptop. So again, all that suffering y'all was hoping he was going, it never happened. So what's the point? That shit was a waste of time and taxpayer money. I mean, y'all down there in Atlanta, y'all should have had enough of this foolishness because now y'all got to sit here and I just read yesterday, y'all got to damn pay for all that nonsense with Fannie Willis. Yeah, Governor Kemp, I'm gonna do a video on that. Governor Kemp said, yeah, y'all gonna be, yeah, taxpayers, y'all gonna pay for that because we just ain't, nah, we good. We good. We ain't even doing all that. But again, y'all voted for that nonsense and kept on and voted her ass back in again. Go ahead and pay the freight. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, China, they don't want to talk about that sale. They don't want to get into none of that. All they want to talk about is Trump bad and he did this and he did that. And meanwhile, ain't nobody really going through nothing. Who going through something that didn't start, but that started after he became president? Let me know. What y'all going through? Gas down, eggs down, chicken wings down, black people. Y'all know y'all been clocking the price of chicken wings. The wings been high as hell. I'm here to tell you. Hunter Biden was citizen that didn't work in the White House. Who cares? Okay, well, he was out representing the United States of America and other countries and collecting checks based on information he was getting in the damn White House. So what we talking about? So we gonna not do that. You out there, you know what I'm saying, holy, ain't that fraudulent? You holding yourself out, you know what I'm saying, as a representative of the United States? Ain't that fraudulent? I'm just saying. You know, we might have to, you know what I'm saying, weave some of this into the live stream tomorrow though, Sel. Because yeah, I'm gonna be on the panel. I'm gonna be there. This is the exact type of stuff we was talking about earlier. Exact type of stuff we was talking about earlier. He wasn't in the White House. Okay. Elon Musk is citizen. Oh, okay, exactly. So you know Elon gonna be on later on. He gonna be on about an hour. Giving his farewell press conference. We're gonna cover that too. Yeah, y'all mad about Elon. Y'all just want to be pissed off. I'm just coming to the conclusion. Y'all just want to be mad. Ain't nobody got no time for all of that. Like, life too damn short. Be pissed off all the time. Like, y'all need to let that go. Let that go. There's too many other things going on. Well, you should have things going on in your life. Sitting up here being mad about all of this nonsense. There's no American citizen. Here you go. Okay, so actually, he is a citizen. Yeah, he became a naturalized citizen in 2002. He also holds a Canadian citizenship. Doge is not an elite company. Be careful how you answer this. Remember logic and facts, not feelings and emotions. Listen. So he has a South African citizenship, Canadian citizenship, and U.S. citizenship. So what is that we talking about again? I just don't understand how folks are adamantly opposed to the richest man in the world. I'm going to say it one more time. The richest man in the world coming to help you get your business together. That don't make sense to me. What is it? What is it? If it was let's say it was Van Jones, richest man in the world, and Trump called him up and was like, you know what I'm saying, can you come and, you know what I'm saying, take a look and see how we can make the government more efficient? Would y'all be okay with that? Is it the fact that it's Elon Musk, or is it the fact that Trump called him? Which is the part that really, you know what I'm saying, buttering y'all biscuit? Which? What's up, Wolfpack? What's really got y'all pissed? I'm just trying to understand, just so I can get with it. Well, don't run. Listen, I'm just saying that because I'm just trying to understand. Is it y'all? Is it the fact that it's Elon? Is it the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he doing it for Trump? Now, if Joe had called him, would y'all be mad? Would it be all of this? If Joe Biden had called him up, you know what I'm saying, and asked him to do the exact same thing, would y'all be pissed? Or would Joe would be the smartest man ever? She said conservative derangement syndrome, Republican derangement syndrome. Like, I'm just trying to understand, like, which part is making this? He was nominated to what he's doing. Hold on, don't you know it's unethical to bring facts to a conversation? You okay? Listen, Sal, you know how I do. You know how I do. I be trying, but right, Trump bad, child. Trump bad. I guess, you know, paying people, you know what I'm saying, for 120 years is that makes sense. Cutting it off is bad. All right, got it. Like, y'all just want to be mad. What you say? Millions of women will die because of reproductive health changes that Trump has implemented. No, they won't. No, they won't, Rachel. They'll be deleted because of bad decisions that they make. Because again, you ain't got to get pregnant. Like my grandmama says, you get pregnant because you want to. It's real easy to not get pregnant. It's real easy. I promise y'all, it is not that hard. I've been doing it for way too long. It just take a calendar and being able to count. That's all. Oh, and a little bit of self-control. Just taste. What you say? The big beautiful bill said, "Get off your ass and get to work." Yeah, that. Yeah. I'm just saying. What you say? I lost my baby 22 weeks if the Trump. Okay, ma'am. If your child died in your womb, if you had a legitimate miscarriage, then you wouldn't you have no problem getting that taken care of. Now, if you went and started drinking bleach and you know what I'm saying, gasoline cocktail to induce miscarriage, then now you got a problem. But if this is just a natural, you know what I'm saying, process that happened in your body, you have no problems. So we're gonna stop playing that game. We're gonna stop playing that game because that's not what's going on. Well, I wasn't gonna say it, but since you put it out there, then I'm just saying, like, we gonna stop this nonsense. But yeah, you want to get sideways and crazy and go over there and lay up with that man knowing he done told you he don't want no kids, and then you run blue on the EPT, and then you know what I'm saying, he cut you all the way off. You know what I'm saying, he just go ahead and take that last little slice on the rope because it was already frayed to start with, and then you decide, you know what I'm saying, you want to go get them pills, and them pills don't quite take because you ain't really honest about what's going on, and you went to some shysters, then now you got a problem because all of that started because you made bad decisions. That ain't Trump's fault. I ain't working against my self-interest because, again, I ain't married yet, so I know not to get pregnant. Like, I ain't working against my self-interest. I already know I ain't married yet, so don't get pregnant. Then when you know what I'm saying, we got to have this conversation about getting pregnant, and I already know once I do get pregnant, you know what I'm saying, since we, you know what I'm saying, a little seasoned over here, it's gonna be certain things I got to do. Are you gonna be able to hold this down while I do this? This is the conversation you have before you be like, all right, I'm ovulating, let's get this popping. That's all I'm saying. See, it all starts with conversation. But see, the thing about conversation is when you having a conversation or a discussion, a talk, or whatever it is you want to call it, when you really want it to be productive, you got to tell the truth. A lot of y'all got a problem with the truth. A lot of y'all got a problem with the truth. So again, that's not a Trump problem. That's a you and the truth problem. This is what I'm talking about, Terry. Let me go ahead and put this up for the people. Right. Michael Jackson told y'all, if you can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby. And don't think maybe when you can't feed the baby. This is what I'm talking about. You will always be trying to keep that child from crying. Hustling still in line. Listen. Michael told y'all what it was, but y'all was busy worrying about the beat. See, I listened to them lyrics. Y'all was on the beat. That's all I'm saying. I was on the beat. Y'all was on the beat. I was on them. Wow, said wow. That's all I can say for that. Wow. Wow. We just had this conversation, like literally before this live stream started. Like said, I had you on my tablet while I, was getting this live popping. Because I was like, the convo over there was good. Like, y'all. So if you haven't subscribed, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to Say You Like Podcast, because we be over there getting it. Wow. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, how this is a problem. Trump. So all of a sudden, soon as Trump became president, now don't nothing work. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna try this one more time. Now, these women having 6, 7, and 8 kids is absolutely insane. You say I got to go to work for my benefits and instead of sitting at home and typing in the chat. I feel you, Sarah. I'm at home, but I'm working. I gotta finish up this project and regroup because, like I said, Elon gonna be on in a little bit. What you say? Have 100 kids by 80 different men is the problem. This is what I'm saying. You got to be honest about what you're doing, but don't nobody want to do that. Everybody want, it wasn't my fault and it was an accident. It kind of happened, even though, women been having babies since literally the beginning of time. Everybody goes through at least one semester of biology in school, but very few seem to understand the concept of, if you exactly, Tay, don't have no shame, none at all. But for some reason, the concept of if you have sex, you more than likely will get pregnant. It seems to apply to everybody but them until they come up pregnant. So, yeah. But it's Trump's fault, it's Elon's fault, it's it's MAGA fault, it's RFK Jr. fault, it's everybody's fault that you ain't got control over your womb but you. What's going on, random consumer? What you say? How you accidentally fall on dick and repeatedly pump to get the nut, then carry the baby for 9 months, and now taxpayers' dollars should take care of you and the baby you never wanted from a man you never loved. Child, you better tell that thing. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, it take a little bit of work. Oh, that sounds like fun. Getting ready for a fishing trip. Okay, he is not a dictator. Kelly, if he was a dictator, you wouldn't be able to be on here talking about him. Dictators don't let you say nothing. But be careful, random. That sounds like fun. You put some in health department that don't know. Listen, I'm just saying. Hell, you can get on YouTube and Google how babies are made and get an understanding that if you have unprotected sex, you more than likely gonna get pregnant or you gonna get somebody pregnant. Like, again, but if we have conversations about this up front, then we know what it is. Because again, if I can have that conversation in the, getting to know you and, what is your thought process in regards to this, if we make it to this level, why y'all can't? I just don't understand. Like, I already had a whole conversation of, what would be the consideration of having a child. Like, I don't understand. What y'all struggling? He is not a dictator. If that's the case, then hell, we would all have to apply to get on the internet. Then we would have to, you know what I'm saying, apply to be, you know what I'm saying, to be up on YouTube. Then, you know what I'm saying, to watch YouTube. Then we have to apply to be able to comment on anything. So I don't get it. But all right, y'all, we have crossed the 1 hour mark. Like I said, we will be back in about 45 minutes or so we can take a look and see what Elon has to say on his final press conference as the head of Doge. So again, hit the like button if you have not. Make sure you are subscribed if you are new and have not. And I will see y'all at 1:30 so we can check out Elon. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you later.